Question number 12, Jacinda Ardern.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Justice and asks, on what date did she or her department instruct the Parliamentary Counsel Office to begin drafting the legislation to create a supervision regime for deported offenders that will be debated today?
The Honourable Amy
Mr.
Adams.
Speaker, I instructed officials to work with the PCO to begin drafting the legislation as a priority following Cabinet's confirmation of the policy on Monday the 27th of October as pursuant to the Cabinet Manual. Drafting instructions cannot be given until then. I instructed officials to begin developing the policy following the initial advice on the issue in February of this year.
Sore thumbs from sitting on them for so long.
Supplementary
question, Jacinda Ardern.
Why did her government begin drafting this legislation so late when she knew about this issue as early as December of last year?
The Honourable Amy Adams.
Mr. Speaker, firstly, the member is wrong. I first received advice on this issue in February of this year. The drafting of the legislation is very different from the development of the policy. That began as soon as I became aware of the issue.
Supplementary question, Jacinda Ardern.
If the Minister only knew this was an issue in February, why did her government progress the extended supervision order legislation in April last year, a law which applies to returning offenders as well? But this bill instead will go through a rushed, flawed, last-minute process.
The Honourable Amy Adams.
Mr. Speaker, there were a number of issues that changes to the PPO and the ESO regimes were intended to address, one of which was about returning offenders, but I can point out to that member that offenders have been being deported to New Zealand for years and years and years without any supervision. No member in this House was unaware that that was happening. That has always been the case, and unlike Labor, we're doing something about it.
Order. 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 Supplementary question, Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary to the Minister. How many offenders have entered in New Zealand in the last year due to being deported from Australia when her government knew it was an issue and cannot be subject to this monitoring regime because of its late entry into Parliament?
The Honourable Amy Adams.
Mr. Speaker, I don't have the number covering the last year, but I can tell that member that it was considerably less than the estimated 700 that arrived under the Labor government with no supervision.
Order. Order. Supplementary question, Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary. Can the Minister confirm that the rate of offenders coming back into New Zealand now is 5 times higher per month than it has been in recent years? 5 times higher.
The Honourable Amy Adams.
Mr. Speaker, the advice I have is that prior to Australia's policy change, the numbers coming to New Zealand were around 80 to 100 a year, or 60 to 100 a year to be more precise, and the predicted number now is around 250 to 300 a year. However, members should note that that also includes people who are being deported back to New Zealand not because of their convictions but because of bad character grounds. That wasn't previously included, so not all of that increase is about deported offenders.
Order.
No, Andrew, I didn't.
Order. Order. If the members wish to have a discussion, they're welcome to do so outside the chamber. That concludes questions for oral answer.